Let's see if I can get this straightened out here. Well, I decided to go live streaming. I'm headed out to Pahrump to blow the shofar. I got a few things I'd like to talk to. This is very spontaneous. I didn't give any warning, and that's okay. Can share it later on. I want to commend the state of Idaho for what they're going to do there in Apache County. I guess they're pretty well fed up with the BLM and the Forest Service. They're going to kick them out. How do you like that? How do you like that, BLM and Forest Service? How do you like that, federal government? State of Idaho is going to kick you out of Apache County. All right? I was talking to Andrea this morning. She kind of gave me the lowdown why. She seemed to be privy of what was taking place there. She lives in Idaho. She's Eric Parker's wife, one of the 3 Ps, our Patriot political prisoners. And she said it had to do with Agenda 21 and controlling the water there up in northern Idaho. They want to take control over it. And she was telling me you can go right there and you can drink out of those rivers, no problem, which is a pretty uncommon thing anymore. And I think that's indirectly what happened to DAPL. Water is one of the most precious things we have. We can live for a while without food, and we can gather food if needs be, but you're not going to live long without good clean water. Look what happened there in Detroit, Flint, Michigan, excuse me. And that was an awful thing, but I think it's part of the agenda. I think it's part of the plan to get control over the water. So, here comes Idaho, and they see the writing on the wall, and they're told the federal government take a hike. And they've ordered the sheriff to go out there and basically evict the BLM and the Forestry Department. Well, I'm going to tell you what. I think I'm going to move to Idaho and support those people there. And I'm sure that sheriff is going to get a lot of support. So, yeah, that's great news. That's fantastic news. Now, this morning, myself and John Lamb and Andrea and Ashley and Roger Roots and my son Jesse, we all went to the courthouse to support Ammon Bundy in his petition, or I don't think that's the right word, but he's trying to get what they call second chair counsel. We went there to help him out, and there's a very, very disturbing thing that I found. They wouldn't even let us in, and it turns out that the jailers or the U.S. Marshals strip searched Ammon and left him in his underwear. Okay? Now, those that are not familiar with the Mormon persuasion, he was left in his garments. And those are sacred. Those are sacred to Ammon. All right? And what they did to him was very demeaning and is flat out wrong. For those that understand the Bible, I'm going to ask you a quick question. Maybe you can store this over in your mind. Answer. When is the last time something like that happened, biblically speaking? And what was the result of that, biblically speaking? All right? Now remember, Ammon was left in his underwear. Okay? Which is bad enough. And they wouldn't allow us to go in there and to support him. Why, I do not exactly know. But, regardless, it's very, very wrong. Excuse me, my glasses off here. And again, let me just tell you where I'm headed. I'm headed out to Pahrump. I felt prompted to go out to Pahrump and blow the shofar. And when I come back, I'm going to stop in Henderson, and I'm going to do the same thing in front of that courthouse. So, okay, you've had enough time to think. When was the last time biblically that somebody laughed at somebody's nakedness, or when they were in their underwear? You remember Noah? Do you remember Noah and his son Ham? And what happened there? Okay, well, Ham came into his father's tent and saw him is sickness. All right? What happened to Ham? Had a great curse placed upon him. All right? So, you know, is it the exact same thing? I don't know. But you know what? I'm going to go up there and blow the shofar and try to underscore and underwrite it. Hopefully not for a little while. So, you know, it seems as no matter how hard we put forth the effort to support our 3 Ps, be as respectful as we possibly can, there's always something that comes out of the woodwork with these judges. You know, they're always just slamming the door in our face every chance they get. They have absolutely no respect for us. And here we are being as respectful as we possibly can. And, you know, they're just demeaning. And quite frankly, I'm really tired of it. I sat through court the last few days, and I sit and listen to more garbage, more evidence that was prejudicial, not relevant to the case, allowing the government to just, it's kind of like they're either brainwashing the jury or they're boring to death. I don't know which, because it looks like they're about ready to fall asleep, the jury. And I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. But I do know one thing. It is very disrespectful to these men. You know, these men have placed everything upon the line. But having said that, I think something has changed. I've kind of have detected it. I would say spiritually, it seems like I have detected it. It's the same feeling I had in Oregon during the first trial. Okay? It's that same exact feeling I did a change. And I remember going into the court and looking at Anna J. Brown, and I seriously, I could see it on her face. Whether she knew it or not, I don't know. But feeling I had is something had changed. And that change was all of a sudden the government was at a disadvantage. And I felt that the other day. Again, and I felt it the day that everything went right in that courtroom for those defendants. And I'm speaking of Eric Parker, Todd Engel. We're going to test my memory here. Stephen Stewart and Todd Loveland. Hey, I got it right. Anyhow, those men are very honorable men. I saw the frustration on Todd Engel with court-appointed attorney. That's why I have no respect for court-appointed attorneys. I mean, some of them do a decent job. I've seen some do really good jobs. But this guy just got up there. He flat out ignored Todd Engel's direction, what he wanted him to do. Andrea Parker today told us exactly what Todd Engel wanted him to do. He didn't even come close to doing what he wanted him to do. So what's the point? You know, Todd Engel needs to present himself. He's a very intelligent man. He's articulate. He's personable, and he's likable. And I think that he's light years ahead of, you know, the prosecution. I think he'll do more than just a good job. I really think he'll kick some booty up there. From the little that I saw, he's very capable of doing that. So, and this is not lost upon the prosecution. This is not lost on Gloria Navarro. I think she is intimidated. I think the prosecution is intimidated by him, and they just don't want him to speak. So they're just, you know, slamming the door in his face, and I hope Todd Engel pursues it. I hope he gives him an ultimatum and just goes for it. That's what I would do. I would just go for it, and whatever happens, happens. Now, that's easy for me to say because I'm not in his position, but that's what I would do. Outside of that, in the courtroom, yesterday was quite uneventful. We had quite a few supporters in there, and I could tell that the men really appreciated it. Eric Parker and I locked eyes just for a moment. He got a big smile on his face. He nodded his head towards me, and I nodded my head towards him, and that made my whole day. It really did. That made my whole day. So now I'm I'm going to lose everybody here pretty soon. I'm ready to go over this mountain pass, and it's coming up pretty quick. So once I get on the other side of the mountain pass, or let's say once I get into Pahrump, my intentions are to go as close to the front doors as I possibly can. I'm going to wear the tallit. I'm going to blow the shofar, and I'm going to walk in there and get as close as I can before, of course, they stop me and run me out. I feel prompted to do this, and hopefully that, and this is what I'm really hoping, is that I know God will be with me. I know the Spirit of God will be with me, and I'm hoping that won't be lost on them. This is just, all this garbage has got to stop, and I'm willing to put myself in harm's way and do what I can do. And this really isn't that much. I don't want to, embellish it or anything. A lot of people do a lot more great things than I do. This is just one little thing I can do. And then, like I said, when I get done there, I'm going to head to Henderson and I'm going to go right in front of that jail and do the same